Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Greetings from Honolulu, Hawaii. So on this video, I'm gonna take you guys around my old stomping grounds. My very old stomping grounds, like when I was a kid, when I first moved from Japan to Hawaii. I'm gonna show you where we first lived, where my grandmother used to live, and all that. So come along with me. Alright guys, so this is Makaloa Street, and that building over there, Amana Street, that's where we used to live. But anyway, that's later on. We're gonna cross the street first. That's not the first place we lived at. That was the last place my mother lived before she moved in with my sister. So this right here is Keomoku Street. A lot of changes have taken place. For example, this condominium here was not here. I believe this was like a two-story complex. And then this building right here used to be a Walgreens. And taking you back even further, it used to be Tower Records. It used to be a Tower Records. And then across the street here, right here, this is a gigantic Walmart. But this used to be Tower Video and some other shops. My sister actually used to work at Tower Video or Tower Records. Gee, I don't remember which was which. Tower Video was on one side, the record shop was on the other side. Yeah, I think the Tower Records was on this side. And I don't really remember what other shops there were. Anyway, a lot of changes, guys. This is a brand new condominium called Azure. It looks like a pretty high-end condominium. This is the lobby. Here it is. It's called Azure Ala Moana. Yeah, they're changing this entire street. But like I said on my previous video, change is inevitable, I guess. This whole area, we used to call it like a little Koreatown. I wonder if it still is though. This is a Cajun style restaurant. I remember there being lots of Korean restaurants down this street here. Yeah, it looks like there are still some. This is a Subway sandwich shop. And here's another little tidbit. I think there used to be like a Japanese bento shop. I think one of these shops used to be, and my mother worked there for a while. This is kind of new. This is Peruvian cuisine, and right next to it is a King of Thai boat noodles. I don't remember these stores being here when we lived on Amana Street. Okay, and then you will see Ross Dress for Less here. Used to be my favorite place to shop for clothing because you could find some good bargains. As many of you know, my sister, she works at the Ross store, another branch though. And yeah, we're coming up to another landmark. I'll call it a landmark because they went out of business during the pandemic, unfortunately. Another thing I don't see these days, a trolley used to come and stop here at this Ross store for all the Japanese tourists, but I don't see that happening anymore. I also used to wonder what these things were here, and I've learned that these are for bicycles, to lock your bicycle. Yeah, we don't have these in Japan, so things are a little bit different here. That building there, right here, is the Pagoda Hotel. It was here ever since I can remember. I've never stayed there, but I remember it being quite a inexpensive place to stay, and now it's actually kind of expensive. It's sometimes $200. Most of the time it's like $150, but still quite expensive. Yeah, okay. So right across the street, guys, there's a sign that says Leaky Leaky Drive-In, Simon Coca-Cola. Well, they went out of business. This was one of the old time diners that, you know, had been in business before the pandemic, and because of the pandemic they closed down, and this was very sad news to me. I have lots of memories here at this Liki Liki. I didn't come here all the time, but like it was always here. And sometimes when I used to come back to Hawaii from Japan, I would crave buttermilk pancakes for some reason, and I enjoyed the pancakes here. I also like the complete meals here. It came with sherbet, and I used to love the sherbets for dessert. Anyway, yeah, now it's Yogurt Story, which used to be actually the block down there, and they moved over here now. Right. And then across the street, that is, oh, that's HMSA now. I thought that was Central Pacific Bank. I was gonna say that used to be my bank. Anyway, yeah, this is completely new, guys, right here. So this entire block or two has been demolished, and there used to be lots of Korean places like shops and restaurants and bars, and now they're building a condominium here. It's called the Park. Wow, this place is gonna look really different. Yeah, and this is what they're building right now, this new condominium. Very interesting. And this, I don't know, like I have a lot of memories here because we're actually almost at the apartment building where we first lived when we first moved from Japan to Hawaii. And during that time there were all these, like I said, you know, Korean bars and restaurants, but when we first moved here there were a lot more Japanese establishments. There were Japanese bars and Japanese restaurants all in this area where they are doing construction. And the reason why I mentioned that is because, oh look, sorry, before I continue, they are leasing commercial space, so looks like they're going to be having shops on the maybe the first and second floors. This is great. Okay, that's great, that's good news. But yeah, as I was saying, the Japanese restaurant, there was one Japanese restaurant slash bar that was in one of these like buildings here when I was just 5. And I remember, I don't know how I ran away from home, but I was 5 years old, and I guess I got into an argument with my mother or something, and so I ran away. And I went to one of the restaurants here because I was hungry. And so I asked them to feed me. They fed me, and they asked me where my mom was, so I told them my mom's address or something. I don't really remember the little details, but my mom came to pick me up later, and I remember till this day what I had. I ate gyoza. They gave me gyoza and fried rice. Huh? What? Anyway, okay guys, right there, that building right there, it used to be a different color, but that's where we first lived when we first came to Hawaii. That was the apartment. Amazing, it's still there, and it used to be green. I think that's the apartment. It looks different, but anyway, yeah, that's where we lived when we first got here. So from here, guys, we're gonna walk over to my middle school, and then I'm gonna show you where my grandmother used to live at the same time we lived in this apartment. Alright guys, so this is South King Street. We've turned right on South King. This is a nice bakery, by the way. I think it's a Korean bakery, but it's kind of nice. Not many things on sale. Some cookies here, But anyway, pretty nice bakery. And then there are some restaurants here that I've never been to. This is a Korean restaurant, and this is a Chinese restaurant, Northern Chinese cuisine. I feel like eating Chinese food now. Here's a Panda Express. This wasn't here when I lived in Hawaii, but this is convenient. And then we're just kind of like a block away from my old middle school. This is a yakiniku so restaurant, so it's a Korean yakiniku place, I think. Maybe somewhere in this building. And this across the street is now storage. I don't quite remember what used to be there. And then there's a whole bunch of stores there, some random shops. Oh yes, this is the Korean yakiniku so restaurant. There's always been a restaurant here. Okay, we're gonna cross here. But anyway, there's a building there called the Banyan Tree something. I used to deliver newspaper at that building when I was very young, like when I was 15 or something, or maybe I was younger than that. Yeah. And then once we cross the street, I'll show you this building here on the other side, that orange colored building. Can you guys guess what that used to be? Now if you're my age, you probably know what that used to be, right? So back then, cinema complexes did not exist, so there were like individual movie theaters. Let me just cross here. So yeah, that used to be a movie theater, guys. It used to be called Cinerama. This is where I watched Star Wars, the original Star Wars movie. Can you believe it? I also watched a movie called Yento here with Barbara Streisand. I bet not all of you remember Yento, but I really like that movie a lot. Here's a gas stand, gasoline stand. Here's a bus stop. There's a little like strip mall thing over there. And I believe there used to be a ramen shop there called Daruma. And that was one of the earliest ramen shops in Hawaii, I think. I'm not absolutely certain, but it was the first ramen shop that we went to since we came to live in Hawaii. If you go down that way, I think that's where Punahou School is. It's a private school. Okay, let's cross here. Alright guys, and here we are. This is Washington Middle School. It used to be called Washington Intermediate, and now it's called Washington Middle School. Yeah, this is where I used to go. And then right next to it is Zippy's, and that's where I also used to go a lot to eat. We did a video on Zippy's, this one right here, on the Tabi Eats video, so if you're interested, check that video out. It's a good one. All right guys, so we are now behind the school, and the reason why is because my grandmother used to live around this area. Let's see if I can find it. I think it was down this street here. I think either down this street or down this street. Oh yeah, I think it's down this street, guys. Let's cross the street here. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my gosh, I have not walked down this street since oh my goodness, like forever. Like I don't even remember. But yeah, let's see if it still exists. I think it still does, because you can see it's a residential area, and it looks kind of the same from what I remember. Like these are some really old-fashioned plantation style homes, I think. But you know, the area is kept fairly clean. It's nice actually. It's quite pleasant. Okay, let's see if I can remember where my grandmother used to live. By the way, grandmother is on my father's side. Okay. Yeah, let's cross the street here. Yeah, I think that's the apartment. I'm not absolutely sure though. I was 5 years old, so I apologize if I get lost. Should not be that difficult. You know, it could have been this apartment here, or it could have been this one, and it could have even been this one. I think it's this one. I think I don't know. This might have been my grandmother's apartment. So anyway, yeah, so this is my father's mother who lived here with her husband, not the original husband, and yeah, they are the ones that told my mother that she should come with me to Hawaii. Back then, plane fare was expensive, and so my mother could only afford plane tickets for me and my mother. Actually, my uncle paid for those, but he could only afford 2 plane tickets, and then my sister came a year after that. But anyway, while my mother was working, my grandmother was taking care of me. My grandmother's younger sister also lived in this vicinity, and that's what I'm looking for right now. You know, I've noticed that they've repainted many buildings. Obviously, they have to do that, but my grandmother's sister's apartment building used to be green or bluish, but I don't see any bluish buildings around here. This was here, I remember. This is some kind of recreation center, and I remember this shop here. Is this still a shop? It looks closed down. It's the MS Ching building, and it says 1929. So yeah, this building has a long history, but they used to have a candy shop down here, and this is where we used to come and buy like Japanese candies and stuff. And I have found the building. Yes, this way. But anyway, yeah, there used to be like a kind of like a dagashi shop here, like an old-fashioned Japanese candy shop, and they also sold like frozen Hawaiian popsicles and ice cream in paper cups. I don't know, these memories are just randomly going through my head right now. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad I found the building. Yes, this is Pumehana Street. Yeah, let's check it out. This is a really strange video, isn't it? And it feels really weird for me because all this is oddly familiar yet unfamiliar. It's like a long lost memory that I'm reliving. Okay, so this building, yeah, okay, it's still kind of bluish. It still has the like blue doors, right? It's blue, but I believe the building used to be like a light green color. But this is where my grandmother's younger sister lived with her husband, who was a local guy. And my grandpa married my grandmother. My grandmother was the first wife, and then my grandpa's second wife, FYI, he married 4 times. His second wife lived in this building. Yes, he married the younger sister. That's right, yeah. So many memories in this area. Okay, we're back on South King Street. There's a restaurant right there in front of us called Gyotaku. It used to be Suehiro, and I worked there just for a tiny little bit. It was a Japanese restaurant. And this used to be Times Supermarket. I wonder if it's, what is it? Is it still Times Supermarket? I don't know. I gotta check it out later. And anyway, we just walk straight down here, we will end up at Zippy's Mr. Ojisan Sushi Bar. I don't remember this being here. Oh, it is Times Supermarket. Yeah, this is the supermarket that we used to frequent when I was a young child. Yeah, because we kind of live, you know, just down this road. That first apartment where we live, it's just right down this street on the left side. And I promise this video is ending very, very soon. This is something that Satoshi talks about a lot. This is a one-way street. He says in Hawaii, there's a lot of one-way streets. I wonder why that is. Anyway, this is Zippy's. We are at Zippy's. One of my hangouts when I was a kid. Not when I was like 5, maybe when I was a little older. When I was in middle school, obviously. And we used to come here after school to hang out and drink a soda and eat gravy and rice. Yeah, that used to be a thing. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thank you so much for coming along this walk with me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below as always. And I'm gonna be trying my best to make one more video for you guys while I'm here in Hawaii, maybe 2. Let's see how much energy I have. Alright guys, take care, aloha, bye.